all new tonight. Authorities in Baltimore, Maryland say a murder suspect was released from the jail here in Mecklenburg County due to an apparent legal hiccup. Baltimore police said officers rearrested this man, Charles Boatwright, Saturday in Charlotte following his release from jail last Wednesday. He's accused of killing a man in Baltimore back in July. The Mecklenburg County Sheriff's Office said repeated attempts to receive a governor's warrant, which would begin the extradition process, were not answered by Baltimore police. Investigative reporter Naomi Coles has been digging deeper into this to sort out who's right and who's wrong. This is a wild case, Naomi. So first question, can we explain why he couldn't have been held in Mecklenburg County indefinitely?
This case really is wild, and it took me about through 5 different agencies today to try to sort out, okay, what are you all talking about, right? So let's talk about the legalities of this. We've talked about this before, but the district attorney's office says that under the law, when someone is arrested for a case like this outside the state, they're being held on an extradition case. Now, he's not charged for murder in North Carolina.
Right.
It's an extradition case. They can only hold him for up to 90 days.
Okay.
And the district attorney says they continued or they delayed the case, or asked for it to keep continued 2 different times while they were waiting on this governor's warrant, which is what they need to get him back to Maryland. They didn't get it.
Got you. So we know that Maryland is essentially accusing North Carolina of releasing him before that deadline was up and after they had that warrant. Is that true?
There's 2 parts to their statement. One part is somewhat true, one part is not true. The first part of what they're saying is that he was released before the legal deadline. Technically, that is actually correct, but the reason for that is because the last available court date fell before that deadline, and if they had continued it, it would have gone past the legal deadline. So a little bit intricate there, but it is technically correct. However, the second thing they said in their statement was that he was released after the warrant was in North Carolina. Now, what actually happened, or he was released a day afterwards, that's not true.
Okay.
The warrant came into North Carolina late Wednesday, last Wednesday. That was also when he was released. However, the warrant didn't make it to Mecklenburg County. It went through 2 different agencies first. It went to Raleigh, it went to the AG's office, it went from the AG's office to the governor's office. The governor had to sign it. So the sheriff's office didn't get this warrant until yesterday, multiple days after all of this went down last Wednesday. Again, he's back in jail now. He was put back in jail on Saturday. But there's just a lot of wild accusations going around. North Carolina, Maryland not agreeing on the actual timeline. I get into more of it online, but it's a little bit frustrating.
It's a confusing thing, and of course it's infuriating for residents to say, how is a murder suspect released from the streets? But the legalities obviously are very confusing here.
You can't hold someone against the law, but also there is a lot of valid frustration about how did this happen with all these different agencies. Couldn't anyone just pick up the phone?
Right. That's interesting. Naomi, thank you so much. A North Carolina